Yeah, so under the functions of buses, so memory bus mainly used for transferring the information between the CPU and the main memory, and whereas IO bus is used for transferring the information between the CPU and the IO devices. So these are the two main buses which we are going to use for sending and the receiving the data. Suppose if you are using the memory bus, internal transmission will happen, and if you are making use of IO bus, then from peripheral device the microprocessor can take the data. So that is the main difference between these two buses. Memory bus will take the information from the internal registers or the memory locations, and the IO bus will take the information from the IO devices or peripheral devices, input output device, it will take the data. So if you are talking about the physical organization, so some computers use a common single bus system. So that single bus we are calling it as a system bus, wherein the system bus is responsible for taking the data and taking the address and issuing the control signals. So for both memory and the input output interface units. So use one common bus but separate control lines for each function. So for example, if you want to read the data from memory or if you want to read the data from IO devices, we need to maintain the separate lines. So if you are maintaining the separate lines, what will happen? So at a time you can perform the memory and the IO operations. Suppose if you are making use of the common bus, what will happen? So if it is reading the input, it cannot read the memory. If it is reading the memory, it cannot read the IO. So that is the main issue with the common bus system. Suppose if you are using one common bus, even though we can make use of the separate lines for the communication. So separate control lines for each function. And if you are making use of the common bus with common control lines for both function. So what is the meaning of this sentence? So use one common bus with common control lines for both function. Read means read will be common for memory and the IO. Write means write will be common for the memory and the IO. But at a time we cannot read the memory and the IO. So that is the meaning of this statement. Use one common bus with common control lines for both functions. Either we can perform reading and writing, but it is not possible to perform read and write at the same time. Are you getting my point? So some computer systems use two separate buses. So one to communicate with memory and one to communicate with IO interfaces. So we'll see that as well. So what are the techniques we are calling it as? Suppose if they are making use of the separate buses and if they are making use of the common buses. So what is the trade-off between IO bus and the memory bus? So IO bus versus memory bus. So use two separate buses, one for memory and other for IO. Okay, so that IO processor is required. We are calling it as an input output processor, IOP. Make a note of it, input output processor. So use one common bus for both memory and IO, but have separate control lines for each. As I said you, in and out for IO instruction, move or LD for the memory instruction. So input output will be for one control line and move and LD, load. LD means load for the memory. So these are the two separate lines which we are using. So have separate lines. So such kind of representation we are calling it as an isolated input output. Use one common bus for both memory and IO, but have separate control lines for each. One common bus is there and two separate lines are used for performing input output operations and moving or the loading. So this kind of representation we are calling it as an isolated IO. So the control lines are like IO request, memory request, read and write operations. On other hand, use one common bus for memory and IO with common control lines. So one common bus for memory and IO and along with that common control lines are there. That means which is used for performing the IO and the memory read write instruction at the same time. This kind of representation we are calling it as a memory mapped IO. So how many types of IO are there? There are two types of IO are there. Isolated IO. Isolated means separate. Have separate control lines. Make a note of it. Have separate control lines. Isolated means. And memory mapped means combined. Common control lines you should have, which are used for performing moving data and performing IO operation. So the best example for isolated IO is Intel and Zilog. So isolated IO is Intel and Zilog. And the best example for the memory mapped IO is the Motorola 68000. So that is the one of the chip number. So that is the best example for the memory mapped IO, Motorola 68000 and Intel and Zilog. Okay, so these are the two types of the IO which we are using, input output mechanisms. Okay, so memory mapped IO and the isolated IO. Fine. And the next one, so we'll see about the in detail. So what is an isolated IO and what is memory mapped IO? Okay,